Love their crab cakes and they love their football. That's what Maryland does. And we are at M&T Bank Stadium down near the Inner Harbor of Baltimore. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Indianapolis Colts. In the middle of a cold night in 1984, but the Colts are back, and we're underway in Baltimore. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Play action. It's Jackson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. They may have thrown the interception, obviously less than ideal, but I think they also sent a message that they're going to push the ball downfield in this one.
Yeah, not afraid to take their shots right away, huh? What was that, like a 9-9-9 route? 9 meaning go? Just went ahead and went for it. Didn't work out so well because it certainly appeared the defense was prepared. but I'm with you. Okay, so it didn't work this time. Doesn't mean we won't try it again later.
They're going to be stopped up on his first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
To throw, it's Wentz. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Now Wentz on third down. And this is going to be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. Now this offense got to be loving this. After the long missed field goal, they'll take over on the other side of the 50, 1st and 10. First carry for the former Buckeye, J.K. Dobbins. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. He's brought down there by Kenny Moore. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, Jackson. That'll be complete to Dobbins. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And they're going to face a 3rd down. I have to imagine many defensive coordinators had a sleepless night trying to game plan ways to slow down Lamar Jackson. What do you think is the most effective way to try to do it?
Well, you've got to be a little counterintuitive because normally you're sitting on the wide receiver 1, aren't you? But with Lamar Jackson, I'd sit on the tight end. He loves to throw into the middle of the field, loves that position as his #1 target. Take that away and hope you have a corner who can stand up man-to-man against a speed guy on the perimeter.
Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they were in field goal range the last time out, but couldn't connect.
It's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Wentz going to give this to Taylor. And once again, they stop him behind the line. Great job by this Ravens defense. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. To throw is Wentz. He finds Taylor, complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
1st and 10, Taylor now. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And it'll be intercepted.
Picked up by Brandon Stephens.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. He'll start with a handoff to Dobbins. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
And I have to think that the Ravens are going to continue to find ways to get J.K. Dobbins the ball, and even more in the passing game this year. Just 18 catches as a rookie a year ago. Would not be surprised to see that number at least double in 2021.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from it. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
And that may have been incomplete, but he reminds me so much of when my dad used to take me to the baseball stadium and watch the home run hitters in batting practice. I'll get to the stadium early just to watch this kid throw it. He can throw it out of the stadium.
Again, Jackson. And that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. and it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They'll fake the give to Taylor. Now Wentz. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman.
And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line.
And 40 catches as a rookie for Michael Pittman. He overcame some early injury problems and really developed into a reliable target as the season went on. The son of a former running back, that's what he looks like after the catch.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
Odafe Oweh there on the tackle.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
From just shy of midfield, Wentz.
This will be swung out wide for Taylor.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1. Throwing now is Wentz. Finds his big tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 30.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
On first down, it's Taylor. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Meanwhile, Wentz's throw taken in by Pascal.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And Taylor, I don't think he got there. No, he did not. Unable to break free, and he's marked short.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. And this a 39-yard attempt.
Blankenship's kick is good.
And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25.
Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. Jackson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Darius Leonard, the linebacker. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Well, when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
They'll run on 1st down. Taylor, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. To the right side, this is Taylor. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Wentz to throw. And this pass broken up. Well, the contact well-timed there, and now 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Rodrigo Blankenship for the Colts field goal. From the right hash, this from 53. Blankenship's kick is good. And they're able to double their lead in this 1st half. It's 6-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football.
And it looked like he got the feed down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. A big connection on that one. 35 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is, his ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
Now a 2nd down and 6. Now it's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the gun, it's Jackson. And this is caught by Watkins. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
2 minutes remaining in this 1st half of football. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the 2nd round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football in the backfield? To be able to get him in the 2nd round, that's what I call a steal.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
Out to his left. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Colts are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open?
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Now Wentz. And Pascal's got it. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Throwing on first is Wentz. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is caught. Touchdown. Zach Pascal as the first half is winding down. And the Colts would extend their lead here just before halftime. I tell you, when Carson Wentz can really step into one and get that 6'5" frame behind it, he can really launch it.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And that ball traveling 68 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they'll take over with just 16 ticks remaining before intermission. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
On first down, Taylor, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. From the 38, Wentz. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Out of his hands quickly to Pittman. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Michael Pittman, his first touchdown on the year. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy is made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20.
Ravens, nothing.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They're in a bit of a bind, a pretty big bind, down 20-0 as they start here on 1st and 10. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Jackson from the shotgun. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. On 2nd and 12, Wentz. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Wentz. He'll dump this off to Taylor, complete. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 3rd quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. Now it's Hill. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Julian Blackmon. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Taylor. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team?
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Justin Houston, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Blankenship's kick is good. And that will up the score now. It's 23-zip. So 3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw.
And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. And now here is another interception. He's picked off near his own 48, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
57 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
They run once more with Taylor.
And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
It's a gain of a yard, and it's 3rd down.
On 3rd down, here's Taylor.
He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away.
Blankenship's kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. They'll find Dobbins out of the backfield.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson steps away to his left. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Colts pick it up. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the fourth quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
2nd down, another run with Taylor.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he takes it down deep into enemy territory.
109 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Taylor.
And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's 3rd and goal at the 1.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. They'll look to run with Taylor.
What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It's an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. From the gun, Jackson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away.
And this returnable for Hines.
Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And it is starting to appear, thankfully for them, that this is the week they're going to put it all together and end that long losing streak.
Breaks the tackle, now an alley. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
139 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
On the counter, it's Taylor.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Julian Blackmon.
And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard. And they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
You must get tired of seeing me. Hey, check back, back 6. Let's go one more.
So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
No, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for Indianapolis, it took a while, but they finally get that first win after 4 straight losses. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they will get a home date next week against the Los Angeles Chargers.